Western continues to pound the rock against Washburn. This time it's James Bailey who rumbles up the middle. He had 110 yards rushing in the first half. Then Marino, he finds Donnell Hawkins before the half to make it 21-0. Marino, he had 5 touchdowns on the night, and it was all Griffs. He rolled 38-7.
It's huge. It's huge how good this league is. I mean, everyone can play some ball, and Coach really definitely drives it home with us that we don't lose at home.
The Griffins do not lose at home. That includes this week. The Griffins 38-7 winners over Washburn on Saturday. Now 3-2 on the season. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on Griffin Sports Spotlight. I'm your host, Brandon Zenner. He is football coach Matt Williamson. Coach, you still got to be juiced after that game on Saturday. One of the best all-around performances in your short tenure here.
Absolutely pumped. It was great. It was great for our school, our university. The town St. Joseph came out and rallied around us again. It was just an all-around perfect performance by our offense, defense, and special teams. Can't complain about anything.
Over 500 yards of offense, and you forced 4 turnovers, just 2 punts on the night. Really an all-around performance when you look at all aspects of this game, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you take the ball away 4 times, you're going to win a football game. There's no questions. Our offense controlled the ball, controlled the time, controlled the possession of the game, and we just took it to them. We came up, play 1, and finished on the last play of the game, and it was really good to see.
And the crowd was electric, everything clicking for the Griffins on Saturday. Let's dive into the highlights from this one. A pivotal home contest for both of your teams. Both teams enter at 2-2, Washburn and Western. Coach, what kind of focus you see in your guys coming into this one? They looked locked in just from the opening.
Oh, it's huge. We challenged them at the beginning of the week. You know, we talk about executing. Washburn's a very, very good football team. They're very good fundamentals. They executed really well. They just beat the team that kicked our tail the week before, and we challenged them as a team. And I think they came out and they took that challenge on and hit it right in the mouth.
And Jabbar Miles hits that guy in the mouth right there. You force a punt and immediately turn to the ground. Shamar, he has that perfect spark, perfect skill set to give a spark to you guys early.
He sure does. He ran really well as always, and then James had a really good performance as well too. Our offensive line was tremendous, and they just moved people off the line all night long, and we protected Dom, and he just felt comfortable.
Right there to Keelan Mack, 4-yard score. Keelan really playing well for you guys to start the season, isn't he? Building on last year.
He is. He's building. He's turning into a huge leader for us. I mean, he just goes out to work every single day. He's making phenomenal catches. He's running with the ball after he catches it, and he's blocking, you know, on the perimeter as well too. Just all around great player.
Then next drive, Marcus Brown there with the TFL to things with the interception in the end zone. He responded with an absolutely huge leak, including that pick, Coach.
You know what? It's funny because we're going to interview him later, but Husky actually messed up on that right there. His technique, but unbelievable that Kobe stayed over the top right there and made a cut, fell underneath there, and made the interception, and held him from scoring right there. And then we end up scoring right after that offensively as well, coming back. But both of the defense is playing really well, and I'm really excited for him.
Kobe with 14 tackles, that pick. He really had a great game. Let's go on to the second quarter then. Mack with an athletic grab right here to start the second half on your drive then. He finished with 7 catches on the day. Definitely looking like Dom's favorite target through the first 5 games of the year. And then Dom, he's going to get the ball on the read option, and Coach, he does the rest. Great read here by him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we work on it week in and week out, and he made the right decision, pulled the ball, knew we had an extra man advantage there, and he took off and ran and scored.
And 2 drives, the Griffs up 14-0. We talked about it last week. It was a big to start fast, and you guys did it again. Then turn to the ground, James Bailey. That is a great run, great vision there by James.
He does. He's making good cuts. It's hard to bring him down. You look, a lot of times there's hardly anybody, one person taking him down. It's usually at least 2. So he's big and physical, and he's got some speed too. You know?
He came 6 yards. He got tackled at the 5 there. Came 6 yards from having a 2-touchdown day. He got tackled at the 1 on the first drive of the game, and then the screen game, one of Dom's best plays on the night to Donnell Hawkins.
It was. They full out blitz. Usually their defensive end peels on that and would make a play, and he didn't peel. Dom saw it right away. We're either going to come up with it or he's going to bat it down. It's going to be incomplete. So it's fun watching him. You know, he's a leader on our defense as well too, and he just changes games. You know, turnovers changes games, and that's what he's been able to do this year.
than more Donnell Hawkins. 51 yards to the house. He had a couple of fumbles early in the year, but he is really finding a groove in this offense in the last couple of weeks.
That was another, obviously all-out blitz by them, where our offense did a great job scheming when they were going to blitz, how they're going to blitz, and take advantage of stuff, and that's what happens when you do it.
And then the next possession is going to be a Washburn ball, and then this pick is just silly. I don't know how he got underneath the receiver, got both feet in. He is on fire, and then the icing on the cake. You're pumped up there. The icing on
fired up right there.
Icing on the cake. Dom Marino on the fake, and Kyle Berry gets his first touchdown. 5 scores for Dom Marino in this offense. You guys go on to get the victory, 38-7. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats right there from that offense. They were electric, just shy of 300 yards rushing. All 3 wins, you guys are 220 yards or more on the ground. Is that kind of is that what we're seeing here? You guys run
Absolutely.
the ball?
That's what you got to do. You kind of take the wind out of the sails of the defense. If your offense can just move the ball at will up and down the field, they're like, what are we going to do? What can we do? You can't really do anything. I've been on that side of the ball before, and you get frustrated. You try to start doing stuff outside of what you're actually supposed to do, and then it just gets worse on top of that. So hats off to our offensive line. Wow, they've just been, and our tight ends, they've just been kicking tail up front. Our backs had done a great job with vision. And then obviously with Dom being able to run the ball and do all those things as well too, it adds another facet to our game. And people are struggling with it right now, and we just got to continue to work on it and continue to grow. 544
total yards of offense. That side of the ball is just really clicking right now. We're going to talk about the defense in a second, but that offense has done something special these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've executed the last 2 weeks, and we talked about that. And they struggled with that the first 2 or 3 games. There was a lot of really good things there, but we always put ourselves in a bad situation. Penalty, missed block, tackle for loss, and then put ourselves in a situation where we didn't want to be in. Where these last 2 weeks, it's been like boom, boom, boom. We're just nothing but great things are happening. We're moving the line of scrimmage, which that always changes the game. And then everybody's just feeling a little bit more confident.
You guys win the turnover battle 4-0. You guys also go 12 of 15 on third downs. Whenever those 2 things are clicking for you, you guys are a hard football team to beat.
That hadn't happened in a long time. The 12 for 15 on third down, you're going to win a lot of football games. 4 turnovers, you're going to win a lot of football games. And that's why it was lopsided. Let's just say we didn't do well on third down. We had 4 turnovers. The game would have been a lot closer, but it was lopsided against a very, very talented football team because of those 2 areas. The third down conversions on third down for our defense, and then the fourth down, the 4 takeaways.
You guys only had 2 punts on the night. Luke Tice, a 34-yard one. Dom Marino punted his ball 35 yards. I'm going to go ahead and say there's a controversy in the
there is. We might have to look at that this week.
The 2 players that we were just talking about, and they stood out on the night, Dom Marino and James Bailey Jr. Marino on the ground, 66 yards, Bailey 139. He had 151 a week ago. Dom 17 of 23 yards for passing, 314 total yards for him. Bailey 8 yards a tote. Coach, those guys, that's a mean duo you guys have there in the backfield, especially when Dom's running the ball like he was.
It is. Dom's real electric. He can break one at any time, and James can as well too. But James is going to break him because he's real physical. You got to hit him right in the middle, right down the center of him, or he's going to get 3 or 4 yards, and that's why his yards per carry is up. He's a big physical back, and he's talented.
Is that as good of a game as you have seen from Dom in his time here at Missouri Western?
Absolutely, 100%. He had some great ones last year against some okay opponents and stuff, but against a very good opponent like this with Washburn, slam dunk, best one that he's played, and I'm looking to see him continue on with that.
Now 3-0, you guys are at home. Let's take a look at the home and away stats we can right here. At home, the Griffons outscoring opponents by 33 points. They've beat Northeastern State, number 5 Fort Hays, and Washburn, who I said was receiving votes before last week. 3-0, almost 500 yards of offense. You guys are absolutely rolling at home. Almost a different story on the road, but those team games against number 5 Northwest and number 20 UCM. What have you liked about how you guys are defending Spratt? What are you talking to your boys about the importance of winning at home?
Well, obviously it's a little bit more comfortable to win at home, but I'm going to get you to say it. Where's it at, Brandon?
I heard you say it's at the Spratt.
It's at the Spratt. You're sure right it is. We're playing really good at the Spratt, and that's one thing we've talked about is that it's comfortable there. When you're away, there's a little different things. We've got to get our correction on the away games, all right? But our home game, our kids have showed up, and they've been ready to play from period to quarter one. And that's the way we're always going to play there. And you can see it. What's been great is our community. You look into our stands, there's tons of people there now. They're all over the place, and the community support makes a huge difference, you know. So thank you, St. Joe, and thank you, alumni, and all Missouri Western fans, and hopefully we get some more out there as well, too. But it makes a difference, and it's been fun to watch all of this continuation, all the success we're having at the Sprat, and that's what's going to happen there. We just got to push on. When we get off campus, we've got to be able to do the same thing as well, too.
Now, I've had many conversations with you since you've taken over. I've never seen you this fired up about.
I get fired up. I kind of hold back a little. I kind of hold back a little bit sometimes. So.
What's it like playing in front of those crowds? As we said, you guys are averaging 5,000 fans per game, and especially Washburn, I think on their first drive, their very first play, they had to delay a game. They had a couple false starts. So you guys' crowd is making a difference.
Well, what's great is that we're going out, and this is one big thing to me. I've been at Missouri Western before. I've been here for a long time. The crowd attendance is kind of hit or miss. You never really knew. And sometimes when you played a good opponent, there'd be a little bit more. But I'm telling you, week to week, we've had great attendance, and it's because I think our kids are getting out in the community. We're doing more social media stuff. We're doing stuff with you. I enjoy doing this every week.
Me too.
The more stuff, it's fun. And the more stuff that we can do and we can do to get people invested in Missouri Western football and all our other athletic sports as well too is what we're going to do whatever we can. And it makes a difference. You sit there and you turn around and you look and the stadium's full compared to you turn around and look, the stadium's half full. It's a game changer in a kid's head and even a coach's head as well too. Like, hey, we got this town's behind us now, and when you do get the town behind you, only great things can happen.
Plenty of, as Sundance would say, plenty of juice out at the Sprat right now.
Absolutely.
Now, in the MIAA, just wild after 5 weeks. Pittsburgh, the only team that is unbeaten at 5-0. Northwest and Hayes, they're at 4-1. You're one of 3-2 teams. Now, when we return, it's on to week 6 of the season. The Griffons turn into the Road Dogs again when they head to Joplin to face Missouri Southern. That coming up next. You're watching Griffon Sports Spotlight on Fox 26 KNPN.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to today. We're going to get right to a check of the headlines.
They've reported from around the world.
We're living along the coastline when the tsunami hit.
Challenged the powerful.
Is it possible voters can conclude you're still not getting it?
And they bring all of this to every story that breaks.
This is what people in the Carolinas have been dealing with.
And every story that touches your heart.
Don't you get tired sometimes of always being strong?
You have to forgive others for you to be forgiven.
Welcome to Today. Thanks for joining us.
2 years ago, I beat breast cancer. Like thousands of other women in Missouri, I don't talk about it much. But those who face cancer and many other illnesses have a pre-existing condition when it comes to health coverage. Unfortunately, Josh Hawley filed a lawsuit letting insurance companies deny coverage for those with pre-existing conditions. That's just wrong, and I'm fighting to stop it. I'm Claire McCaskill, and I approve this message because the insurance companies already have too many senators on their side.
The news never stops, and keeping you connected with stories that impact you is what News Press Now is committed to do. Our journalists are passionate about their community and giving the information that you need. The latest on crime in the community, what's happening with our schools, what new businesses are coming to town, who won the big game, and what to do this weekend. Read it now. Watch it now. News Press Now.
Ladies, it's time for this year's Josephine Women's Expo, Saturday, October 6th, sponsored by Collision Repair Specialist, Reed Auto Group, Sam's Club, and the Missouri Lottery. Enjoy more than 100 booths with tons of shopping, a food and wine court, live local music, fashion shows, and much more. Visit josephineexpo.com for vendor lists, a stage lineup, and BOGO coupon on your advance ticket purchase. Tickets are on sale now at all Green Hills grocery locations and at the News Press. The 14th Annual Josephine Women's Expo, Saturday, October 6th, 10 to 4 at the Civic Arena. Picture perfect.
We together, we all want the same goal, is to get that ring. I mean, that's really the big difference right there. We all on the same page.
And just like that, the Griffons are on to week 6. Past the midway point in the season, Griffons head to Joplin to face Missouri Southern at 2 p.m. Saturday. Southern coming off a big road loss at Central Missouri. Coach Denver Johnson, he resigned after week 3. For them, they've lost 18 straight games. Coach, just kind of what do you make of this Southern program and kind of the transition that they're making at the moment?
Yeah, they're going through a lot of issues right now and kind of putting them in some bad situations, the insecurity with the head coach and all those. Kids are still playing hard. You watch the film, they're still playing hard. They're just not executing, I think, to the level that they can. I think we've just got to go down and attack a faceless opponent, in my opinion. We talk about that week to week. You just sit there, and if you worry about this or they have these stats or that stats, we just can't beat ourselves. And again, like we talked about earlier, we're on the road. We're going to be in an uncomfortable position, and we've got to be able to handle that and be men and get up there and play from play one like we did this past week and the last couple of weeks. We got to continue that on, and that's the only option that we have.
Mm-hmm. Now, you guys have avoided what many people call trap games. I know you talk about keeping the opponents faceless. What goes into preaching that mindset and getting the guys to actually believe in that?
Just the challenge and the level. You can see it as a coach. Like you go out and you watch practice, and we watched last week's practice. Everybody was locked in, ready to go. We were hitting each other. It was physical. It was great. And then we came out, and that's what we did. As a coach, you can see that transition throughout the week. So we've got to be on them. We can't let that fester. You might see, hey, I might be going against not such a good receiver, not such a good offensive lineman, or something like that. That shouldn't challenge you. If you're changing how you play because of you might think you're better than this person, that person's going to step up and get you. And it always happens, and you can't be that person. We don't want people like that on our team at Missouri Western. We want people that want to be competitive and want to take advantage of everything they possibly can to have success.
Now let's talk about the Southern offense. They're ranked last in the league with under 10 points per game, and what they try to do, they try to run the ball. They run the ball much more than they pass the ball. It kind of plays in your guys' favor. You guys have a really good rush defense. What do you see kind of in that Southern offense? They
do. They've kind of switched back and forth between two quarterbacks. They had one play a little bit earlier, and they went to a little bit more of a running quarterback last week. We've just got to line up and do our thing. If you look at it, a lot of offenses are the same. I mean, amongst our conference and stuff, and some execute better than others. And they do some really good things. Their quarterback is really athletic. I think he's kind of like Dom. He kind of scored any time. They've just been able, some people have been changing line of scrimmage on a little bit, and they haven't been able to get off blocks and be able to make things happen. And I think we got to continue to grow and challenge our kids as, hey, we doesn't matter who we're playing, we got to play great run defense every single week, and then force them into a situation. That's what we've done. We've forced people to do what they don't like doing, and that's when we have success.
Offensively, I figure you want to try to run the ball?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. We'll try to get a bunch of people the ball and take advantage. We want to continue on our success with our throwing the ball as well too, and getting it to our receivers. Want to be multiple. If you're executing on all levels, all three of those, it doesn't matter who lines up there on defense. They're going to you're going to struggle. So we just got to put it all together, and it's an interesting situation because our last opponent that we played off campus, Missouri Western, we didn't even show up, and I was superly discouraged by that. Our team was really upset about it. And then we end up coming back and followed up with a good performance. So I'm going down there all energy and everything. We got to be ready to go, and it'd be a shame if we did.
Thank you for joining me, Coach. I'm going to be joined by James Husky coming up in just a couple minutes. Best of luck this week in Joplin. We'll speak to the All-MIAA linebacker coming up next. You are watching Griffon Sports Spotlight on News Press Now.
Who represents us in the Missouri Senate is just one of many important decisions St. Joseph voters face this November. Tune into News Press Now and newspressnow.com at 7 p.m. on October 3rd to see Democratic candidate Martin T. Rucker II and GOP candidate Tony Lutemeyer debate the issues that are important to Northwest Missouri. News Press Now senior reporter and columnist Ken Newton will serve as moderator, and viewers can participate too by submitting questions to the News Press Now Facebook page.
These are your divorce papers.
Will you marry me?
See, 1,000 times, see!
The look on Will and Grace's face when his mother and her father said, I do. Oh, it was like that.
Why is your beard so dark?
Good genes, I guess. I had no...
Will and Grace premieres Thursday on NBC.
We've got ourselves a showdown to be called the best in Texas. And when you only face off once every 4 years, well, you better make your shot count. Cowboys, Texans, All eyes on the showdown. All eyes on Sunday Night Football.
The intensity and the energy and the spirit of this Griffon football team, and it's going to continue to grow and become more and more powerful.
The road to his senior season has been a lengthy and trying one for Missouri Western middle linebacker James Husky.
Made me stronger. It was a long, long road.
From Fox High School, located in Arnold, Missouri, southwest of St. He came to Western in 2014, a year after graduation. He played in 8 games as a freshman, mainly helping on special teams, but as he prepared for a bigger role as a sophomore.
Second day into camp, I ended up tearing my pec, benching. That was a rough one.
Despite missing 2015, Husky came back stronger than ever a year later. He finished second in the MIAA with 16.5 tackles for loss to go with 3.5 sacks, 90 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles, earning him second-team All-MIAA honors. With even bigger things in sight, another season was stolen right out from underneath him.
That spring came and I ended up, getting hurt, tore my ACL, sitting out watching everybody play that I was here with. It was pretty tough. Really what I learned, just, resiliency, just being able to come back from something like that. It's a long 10 months, but it was all right. Came back, and I feel pretty good now.
With a diploma in hand, Husky now chases down a master's degree as he prepares to hunt down quarterbacks one last time.
He's walking around with a big chest as a leader as well, too, and the guys look up to him. Just having him in the room, having him around, what kind of environment the MIAA is, it's helped. He's lifted him up, and that's what it's all about, is lifting your brother up and continuing on and strengthening the team within.
I'm just happy to be part, back in the lineup, just be able to contribute to the team. It's just flying on guys, bring a little bit of energy.
He rehabbed his tail off. He really worked hard at it. It's important to him. This team's important to him. He bleeds black and gold from within.
There's been so many things I had to go through and come back from. I'm just glad to be here now,
Now you are here, Missouri Western senior linebacker James Husky making an incredible comeback to once again being a standout linebacker for the Griffs. Second on the team so far in tackles. James, just what's been like coming back from those injuries now, your senior year, and kind of seeing the fruits of your guys' labor pay off with so much success here early in the season.
Man, it's been exciting. It's been a journey so far. Couple games early. It's been pretty tough, but we got on track this week. Hopefully we keep the momentum going.
And now, seeing the way that things are going, being a top 5 team already early this year, you guys are playing really well. How glad are you that you made a decision that you wanted to stay with this football team and come back for another year?
It's been a good decision. Obviously, football, you love football. The injury, everything that happened like that, it was tough, but coming back definitely has been worth it so far.
Now, before we talk a little more football, I'm going to put you through the gauntlet. This is what we call Get to Know Griff. You told me you're familiar with this. This is Tyler Bash and Chad Edwards, Coach Williamson. 30 seconds rapid fire. I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions. You say the first thing that comes to mind. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite sports team?
49ers.
What actor would play you in a movie about your life?
Ooh, Tom Cruise.
Favorite musician?
Drake.
Best Gatorade color?
Blue.
Funniest teammate?
Jabbar.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Football player.
Go-to restaurant in St. Joe?
Red Lobster.
If you were stranded in the woods, who's the one person from the team that you would want there with you?
Jabbar.
And what's your girlfriend's name?
I don't have one of those.
Okay, Coach Willie told me I had to ask you that, so
yeah.
I get that one out of the way.
That's solid.
Now, let's get back into football. You started your career at JUCO down in Arkansas. What brought you from there to here in St. Joe, Missouri Western?
A dean that played here I went to high school with, Damon Harper. He played here before me, came here straight out of high school. Then after my JUCO, the first semester I came here, came on a visit, checked it out, and kind of fell in love with it.
Now, what was the transition level like, just going from playing JUCO ball to playing here at D2, and right back then, that's when Western was just coming off of a couple of really successful seasons.
Yeah, the speed of the game was a lot faster here, a lot more discipline here, I would say, just across the board, defense, offense, everything like that. Got recruited here originally as a running back. switched to defense. Like I said, it was just the speed of the game was a lot different here.
Well, there were some great defensive guys on that side of the ball. What was it like learning from them? The likes of I'm sure you took in lessons from David Bass and those likes.
Yeah, it was Juergens, Bass, all of those guys were here. They were huge. Yami, Ali, all those guys were great players. So it was cool to learn from them for sure.
Yeah, we had 2 4-7 seasons in a row, but I've been around you guys. This team just feels different, doesn't it? What's different about this team this year?
Just the overall togetherness of this team this year. I've never been a part of anything like this. The energy here, everything like that. Just everybody's on board right now, and it feels really good to be a part of it.
Now, we still have plenty of season left to go, but you think this team is built differently to finish the second half strong unlike those last 2 years?
I mean, yeah. Like I said, just the togetherness, everybody wanting to play for each other is what's huge, I think. Like I said, every tackle, we got everybody, all the hats on the ball. It's been fun. It's been really fun.
For you personally, how are you feeling this year? How are you wanting to kind of end your career here as a Griffon? I
feel good right now, physically, mentally. Definitely want to end playoffs, see where we can go from there, and I think that we're able to do it.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of the MIAA this year? You got only one team that's unbeaten. You guys win out. You never know. It's a tall task, but you guys up for it?
Yeah, we're definitely up for it as a team. This past week was definitely, we clicked together as a whole unit, I think. MIAA is crazy right now. It's a ride, that's for sure.
Now I know you guys have a really solid base of leaders. You're right in the middle of that thing. Talk to me about the leaders on this team and kind of who is leading the ship as you guys try to bring this program to back where it was, and you guys are on the right track.
I mean, a lot of the seniors have been leading just on each side of the ball. I mean, Dom obviously is a huge leader on offense. Defense, we got Markel, everybody like that. I try to lead as best as I can, try to lead by example. It's just everybody's, like I said, everyone's really together right now, really staying on board with each other.
Right. That's James Husky. I'm Brandon Zenner. You've been watching Griffon Sports Spotlight on Fox 26 KNPN.